So, hello and welcome back to part 2 of Team Subtlety in Paranoia. Let's kick off. Albatross, what are we doing?
Okay, so we've just managed to get ourselves on the subway. Everyone's piled in. It's pretty packed. It's everyone's trying to get to their important business around Alpha Complex. Obviously, not as important as you think.
Obviously, we're on missions inventing computer.
You look at like quite handy charts on the nice and color coded, so they're easy. Red clearance anyway. So which seem to indicate that in order to get, you would take around 45 minutes. So you'd be looking for about 11.
Oh.
You've got your happy pills, and you've got a pair of cooks between you. What do you get up to?
Yeah. So
I believe I will give the comics to the non-mutant one members of the team first, and I will also coordinate the rotation of those comics around the team while also coordinating the time of the nodes, so that it would be 2 minutes apiece.
Okay, I will try and start reading the comics to keep my happiness levels high.
Yep,
okay, and the comic is printed entirely in red and infrared ink, so that you can read it without it being treasonous. Which, as you'd imagine, makes it rather difficult to read. You find after about a minute your eye a bit strained. The plot's a little bit trite. It's about a good Alpha Complex citizen who finds joy in doing good work for Friend Computer. It's a good plot and it brings you happiness, but I've seen it before.
Okay. I start to hum to myself.
Sure sign of happiness.
Yeah.
Excellent.
with a pleasant smile on my face, I'll look around the rest of the carriage and just kind of observe the crowd.
Everyone seems sort of fairly absorbed in their own thoughts. They're all, merrily going along. At least content. If quite a lot of smiles on people's faces. Everyone's reasonably cleanly as well. Generally speaking, it's a pretty good place to be. This carriage, there doesn't seem to be much in the way of treason on board.
Excellent. I'm going to say quietly to the person next to me, like, excellent, upstanding citizens of Alpha Complex in here. Good to see.
Happiness officer, is it time to switch the comics around?
I believe we have 32 more seconds, and then we'll be swapping.
Okay. I'm glad that you're keeping on top of it. I will go look back down at my happiness book.
I am going to ask how much longer this train will be before we get to Sector 8B.
It's only been 2 minutes, or less than 2 minutes. So there'll be 43 minutes to go.
I hope we can fulfill the mission in time.
Me too.
With the blessing of Friend Computer, I'm sure we'll complete the mission.
The nose swaps exactly 2 seconds before. Time to swap the comics.
Okay.
Okay.
I will pass the comics to my left.
Yep, I'll pass mine on as well.
Whose turn is the nose happiness officer?
Say that again, sorry?
Whose turn is it with the nose happiness officer?
It's currently mine, as you can see on my face.
It's like it is most humorous.
Right.
I will honk it.
That's brilliant.
It doesn't actually honk. You have to do the sound yourself.
Oh, but
Oh, of course.
I think that makes people appreciate it more.
I think you'll appreciate how absolutely on point my was. That wasn't as good. I lost it.
Can you do that again for me? It would make me very happy.
Only if it would make you happy.
Thank
I will continue to a happy song from
As a happiness officer, do I recognise the happy song?
Oh, of course.
It's We All Live in a Yellow Submarine.
Wait, yellow?
An infrared submarine.
Yeah.
It's like-
I mean, you have to sort of rush through some of the words, but
Well, I'm humming it.
We all live in a submarine.
It's like I'll actually stand up from my seat and turn to face them all and say, "Oh no, let's not disturb the rest of the carriage with the incorrect tune. Lean in. I'll tell you the proper tune." And as they all lean in, I'll very quietly explain that the treason sensor in Max's hand has been lit up, and it seems to be blasting off someone at the far end of the carriage.
Treason sensors lit up.
It seems to be.
Anyhow.
Oh goodness me! I didn't even notice. I was so busy looking at the red nose. Thank you so much.
It's like-
How did it turn on by itself? That's excellent technology.
Isn't that
We should
amazing?
take a note of that.
Yeah.
It's already been recorded. Don't worry.
Oh, good. Why don't you go and track them down, Matt?
Why don't you help? I think I won't be able to do it very well on my own. As you know, not everyone respects my word, being a registered mutant.
Well,
I should
Well,
need at least one troubleshooter.
focus on the mission at hand. But I was just thinking that as you are a registered mutant, now, people tend to ignore you. That you would be the best for the stealth mission of identifying this commie.
yeah. If you're able to go down, just kind of waving it around, being your usual happy mutant self, then you can work out who it is, and then we'll act together.
And as you are, of course, the recording officer,
And we'll manage to record them.
its activities, and then we'll have that and we can report it. Obviously, we can't
Fantastic.
carry out the sentence ourselves, Peter. That frankly,
I will very quickly go towards the end of the carriage.
Okay, I'll sit down again as I watch him and go, and that's how you do the correct tune.
okay, Max, you wander down. How open are you being with your treason detector? Are you trying to keep it concealed, or?
I am trying to keep it concealed. I'm just making it look like I'm just being happy and wandering up and down the carriage because I'm happy.
Okay, the carriage is quite cramped, so wandering up and down it
I'm
is.
going to use my mutant power to push through people.
Wow. Okay, you. Do,
While humming happily.
could you secretly roll me a d20?
I certainly can.
sneaking.
Oh, that is loud.
Sorry, that's me.
What's going on? I guess we're still passing around comics and
Yeah. So you wander down the carriage, and normally a person would have to quite roughly shove their way past and look very purposeful, but you manage to make it look very effortless and nonchalant the way you walk down, and people are getting thrown aside by your rather vigorous stroll. You do make it look effortless. You're walking down, and you, every now and then you kind of glance at your treason detector, and you notice that the light on the screen seems to be indicating a person who's on their personal communication device. From what you can tell, it appears they're playing some sort of entertainment-based video game.
Greetings, citizen.
Hello.
What
Can I
are you
help
doing
you?
there?
Well, I'm just amusing myself, keeping myself happy, while I'm on my way to
How
go
are
to war.
you accomplishing this?
Well, you can see I've spent, it's fairly cheap actually. I've got this entertainment game from the network. You can just download it on your personal device, easy peasy. Do you want me to tell you where to go?
No, but if you could show me it on your personal device, that would be very helpful.
Oh yeah, sure. Just have a watch, and he sort of tilts it so you can see the screen. It's full color screen. It would be treasonous to touch, of course, but it's fine to look at. Similar to the charts on the wall of the subway, and the game seems to basically be a sort of a life simulator about someone who's working for the glory of friend computer. The person has a job, basically facilitating logistics in a large company. You can only assume that the guy who's playing this game has an even more boring job, that they find that fun.
I'm going to ask him to hold it out in front of him, and I'm going to quickly pass the treason detector to see if it's the device or him that is treasonous.
Are you just sort of doing this in the open, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, you do this, and it lights up very strongly when you pass it over the device. It appears that it is picking up this device rather than him as an individual.
I'm going to say to him, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to confiscate this device and return it to friend computer. Well, you will be issued a new one. This one appears to have been compromised.
I beg your pardon? Surely you can't do that.
I'm going to show him the laser pistol and explain that I'm a troubleshooter, and he can speak to my team leader if he'd like to confirm that.
What's a troubleshooter? And what's that round thing you're waiting?
That's not for you to know. Come and speak to my team leader.
Right, well, fine. And he turns off his device and puts it in his pocket. And
Does the detector stop flashing?
it does.
Alright, I'm going to walk him over to the rest of the team.
Who's going red nose right now?
Oh, it would be your turn.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Hello, team. This man's personal communication device is infected with treasonous material, but I wanted to consult the team leader.
I see.
He thinks would be the best course of action.
How have you determined this? Was this what your sensor was detecting?
That's correct.
I see. Well, sir, if we were issued a detector, which is obviously a treason detector by our friend computer, and your equipment is showing us being treasonous, then I think you have to hand it over so we can dispose of it. If you resist, then I think that would make you a traitor as well, and
Would
they
it
would
be
report you.
Would it be a good idea if our friend Mutant here were to hand the traitor detecting device over to perhaps myself, if I could look over it, and then we've got two opinions, and therefore we can absolutely confirm to the gentleman that this is correct?
Yeah, I think that's an idea.
I don't think this equipment was cleared for your use.
I believe it's cleared for.
I mean, we are both, or we're all level red clearance, so.
Yeah, we can work together as a full team.
Does it say anywhere in your instructions that you can't use it?
The man cuts in and says, "You a treason detector? I've never heard of such a thing."
Well,
Of course not. It's
of course
it's
not.
you.
It's brand new. Friend
Oh,
computer
of
has
course.
just designed it.
Right, and they gave it to a group of red clearance people.
Yeah, for testing. As we are troubleshooters and are off on missions where we can encounter treason.
I may have missed this. What color is this guy wearing?
Red.
Red.
Everyone in
red.
the subway is red.
Okay.
Are you questioning the logic of friend computer, sir?
not friend computer. No, I'm just questioning. In fact, comes from friend computer. If you're just trying to steal my device.
So we are troubleshooters on. We've been issued all equipment by Friend Computer.
Well, the obvious solution here is to call friend computer and have him explain. Would you be against that?
Well, I mean, if you think friend computer will be happy to be bothered by this.
Frankie Peter cares for all of us here in Alpha Complex. Of course, message him. He'll confirm that we are troubleshooters and we're enacting his will.
I do believe friend computer would be very interested to learn if treason is afoot.
Especially to know that his new treason detector is functioning correctly.
Or not, if the case may be.
Are you
After
saying
all-
it might not be
after
functioning?
After all, we are we are testing it to make sure it's functioning.
Yeah, so we can make more improvements if it's not
Friend
working.
Computer would want to know if it wasn't working as much as if it was working.
So you don't even know if this thing works?
No, it obviously works. It detected your treasonous material.
But you just said it might not be working.
They were talking
Are you-
hypothetically. Of course it works. It was made by friend computer.
Are you questioning the possibility of friend computer's technology not working, and perhaps even if he designed it to not work on purpose? Though, of course, it works.
That doesn't make any sense.
Of course, it makes sense.
You seem very upset.
This seems like you're lying to me.
Well, would friend computer lie to you? Message him.
Well, I should message him.
Yes. Well, if you're not going to believe us that we are enacting friend computer's will with all of our evidence, such as a treason detector, surely you're not going to trust our communication devices. You should contact friend computer.
So now you trust my communication device.
Surely, what would be if you trust your communication device? What's the problem in using it?
Well, of course I do, but if you were to use my device as evidence that my device is treasonous...
We're not saying that you are treasonous.
No, I'm not saying just
No, we're
specifically
using
your device.
device to confirm that we are troubleshooters.
Why don't we send a message at the same time? And then we have our device and your device, and if they don't match up, then we'll deal with that.
Look, friend, we were issued with a treason detector. Treason detector has detected that your device is having treasonous technology on it. Therefore, we are confiscating it so it can be reviewed by friend computer and his employees / friends. If you are opposed to this, then
If you're unhappy about this, we have a happiness officer here.
Now, will you hand over the device, or will we have to report you for treason as well?
I notice everyone's getting flustered. I'm going to hand a happy pill to the rest of the team.
Thank you, happiness officer.
Yeah, I'll just
Thank you, happiness
skull it
officer.
back. Thank you.
Can we roll anything to convince him?
Let me just check what the skills are. I think... I don't know if you do need to anything. Just it's not like you're not like trying to bluff him. Or,
There's no one being entirely serious about.
yeah,
He's just not
He's
believing
not
it.
really
Well,
intimidating,
it's very like convincing stuff.
There's no real intelligence stat here,
Yeah.
clearly.
No.
Yeah.
Now, why don't we just look? Okay, let's find out if it's the game you were playing that was treasonous, and then maybe you could just uninstall the game and we can all go on happily. Why don't you turn on your device and we'll see if it lights up immediately or when you load the game.
right. Well, okay. I'm happy to get more information about the situation. I'm not sure I entirely agree with that I should go deleting anything or giving you anything.
I
So
think I think it would be Jasper, because it says one of the first things is getting others to accept doubtful statements through confident assertion. The whole point is he's doubting us.
Are you questioning the GM?
he brings out
Okay.
he brings out the device and he turns it on, and it comes up to its sort of default main menu. It says, right, how's that then?
I'm gonna scan it with the treason detector.
Nothing appears.
Would you load up the game?
Fine, since we have nothing better to do. And he opens up this is your logistics simulator game, and the treason detector lights up.
Well, there you have it. Clear as day. The game of treasonous.
Yeah, can I note down the name of this game?
It is logistics simulator.
Logistics Simulator.
By 18.
And he says, so, what, you suggest that I just delete this game, yeah?
Or you could be treasonous and we could turn you into the authorities. It's really your choice. I'm not telling you what to do.
Well, I'm still not convinced I trust this machine.
Okay, well then, if you don't trust the machine, then you must hand us the things we can check if it is true or not.
Well, if I delete this game, what am I going...
What did you
I
say?
know.
Sorry, you cut out a second there.
Oh, he says, if I delete this game, what am I going to do for the rest of my commute?
Well,
Sit
you can
there happily.
you can read this comic book here. It'll make you happy just as well as the game.
You could also just enjoy the contented feeling of knowing that you did something that friend computer would approve of.
He eyes up the comic book. And he says, right, okay, if you give me that, I'll delete this game. How does that sound?
I'm sure we can get around with one comic book. Is that okay, Happiness Officer?
Well, we'll have to change the timing, but as long as it keeps everyone happy.
Is it okay though? I'm about your superior knowledge of happiness.
Well, the question is, would this make you happy?
Oh, it would definitely make me happy to remove this traitorous piece of equipment from general public circulation.
Well, of course, we should take the opportunity to remove something treasonous then. And if this is going to be adequate for maintaining your happiness, then I'm happy.
Okay,
But I'm always happy.
good. As it should be. Here, I offer him the comic. I hold up my hand.
Right, okay.
The traitorous.
Very well. And he uninstalls the game. Says, are you happy now?
Does the treason detector stop?
It does.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
I'm always happy, citizen.
He says, right, fine. And he, bristles a little bit and walks off to the other side of the carriage again.
I lean over to the happiness officer. He didn't seem very happy.
He didn't, but he's not part of our team.
I was wondering, should we give him a happiness pill to make him feel a bit better?
Or some mouthwash. Make sure it's hygienic and all.
If they would make the team happier, then of course we have a box of these happiness pills.
I think we should spread happiness wherever we go.
Exactly. We should improve everyone's happiness and hygiene.
Unless they're traitors, obviously.
Of
In
course.
which case.
In
We're
which
going
case
to go over.
we can clean up the complex by removing said traitors.
We're going to go over and quite put the pill in his hand and close his hand for him. Like even if his one hand's holding the comic, just think that this is for your happiness, which of course, as you know, is mandatory.
Well, thank you, I think. And he eats it while you're watching.
I'm gonna.
And he does seem to perk up a little bit. You're not sure if it's the comic or the pill.
Good. I was just wanted to watch and make sure that I saw that swollen motion that he's throwing.
As the situation diffuses, the adrenaline wears off for everyone. Max goes a funny kind of pale, treasonous green shade, and then suddenly faints.
Max Flynn.
It's
dear.
not possible to maintain happiness unconscious.
I know.
Yeah. This is
I'll
not very
note that
hygienic
down,
passing out. There might be germs around here. Can I inspect
I'll note
Max?
that down. It's got a lack of happiness while he's unconscious.
Can I inspect Max? Just to make sure he's not soiled himself.
He has not soiled himself.
Okay, and medically, is there anything wrong with him, as best I can tell?
Do you want to? Do you want to roll the medical?
Oh, yeah, I will roll medical.
Happy Zone, can you record his lack of happiness while he's
Say that again, sir.
Can you record his lack of happiness, please?
Oh, yeah, I am staring quite intently to see if his face is in a smile or not.
Can you record it on your computer?
I believe that would be possible, yes.
Just to make sure it's we have the evidence for this.
So
Is he currently smiling?
his lips are sort of curled up, but that could just be a grimace or gravity, or he could be smiling. Might be having a very nice dream.
What do you think, happiness officer?
Well, I believe that if it's his happiness and he has done nothing wrong, then of course all we have to do is watch to see if this changes.
Yeah, we can verify once he becomes conscious again how happy he was.
Of course. We'll capture evidence anyway.
It's like after looking over him a little bit, I kind of think he seems to be having a bit of a bad dream, a very sad dream. You may want to record this, officer. But I believe medically he should come to just shortly after we arrive. We may need to consider leaving him. It'll be about an hour, and he should be back on his feet. If we arrive before then, well, he might slow the team down.
We can do it from behind. I'm sure he won't contribute much being a horrific mutant.
Perhaps. But we do need to make sure that he does return all the required items to Quartermaster.
If we are going to leave him behind, we'll take the required items with us. Just make sure they get returned safely to the defense computer.
Okay, cool.
I would like to just. Would also like to just assess him. I would like to, of course, just take a closer look to make sure he's still happy, or if he's having this bad dream, I'd like to have a closer look myself, and just kind of ascertain the situation for myself. I trust the cleanliness officer, but I just like to be sure.
Entirely understandable.
I start having.
So, would you like to go medical then, or are you just looking him over?
Just looking him over.
Okay. To determine whether he's happy.
Just to determine whether he's happy in his state, I just want to make sure that perhaps we've not missed anything, that maybe he's actually okay, and maybe he won't be slowing us down. Or, I don't know.
He doesn't seem kind of seriously injured at all. Sort of just looks like he's in a very deep sleep, which I suppose it's a philosophical question whether the concept of happiness applies when you're passed out.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, so, I potentially, if you're interested, happiness offer might have a solution that may help him wake up sooner. And I'll open up one of the small bottles of mouthwash, take a small amount in the cap.
What is that? Hygiene officer?
This would be mouthwash. Quite pungent, quite smelling. It is black, but it does in fact help clean the overall mouth area. Would you like some? And I'll gesture at him with a cap.
I think my hygiene is currently sufficient, but why do you think this is needed right now?
It may help him wake up, and then we can become more efficient, so we don't need to wait on him coming to, or being a man down during the rest of the mission. Or a mutant down, if you will.
Let me try a quicker way that does not waste resources, and I kick him.
What was that? You kick him?
Yes.
Like hard, or
like sort of like enough to sort of like would wake him up, maybe.
So you give him a bit of a kick in the ribs,
Yeah.
and he doesn't really respond.
It's like this is what I was going to intend, and I'll put the cap up his nose, like smelling salt.
Wait, okay, fine. I'll say that didn't work. Go ahead.
Yeah, certainly, sir. And I'll spray the minty mouthwash up his nose, see if that wakes him up. I don't have smelling salts with me, but this might do the same job.
So, as you kind of put the improvised smelling salts under Max's nose, he kind of jerks a bit in his sleep, or in his pass outness, whatever you want to call it.
See, he's fighting someone in his dream. That's not a happy dream there, happiness officer.
Oh, I've noted that myself.
His muscles spasm, and he manages to sort of just slightly kind of slap both John and Seaman with his arms. Not hard, not no injuries, but you're certainly aware that he's just sort of punched you in the calf.
Wow.
What a dick.
It's like, now, is the red nose still on still on Seaman's face?
Oh, you're quite correct. It is exactly 3 seconds, and now we need to put the red nose on our mutant friend.
Oh, so Max is go. I'll take it off and I'll put it on him.
Excellent.
I just can't help but notice that he's been such a hindrance to the.
Yeah, he still looks really unhappy as well. He wasn't happy nose.
At least his nose is hygienic. That's his small saving
How long
grace.
do we have left on the train?
Probably only about a quarter of an hour, maybe.
Right, let's leave him to flail around. If he wakes up, he wakes up. If he doesn't, we'll take all the stuff back to the computer and just leave him here because either way he's gonna be useless.
Just to check out, I understood this. So when doing the mouthwash idea, was it just letting him smell it? Because I meant to pour it up his nose because that'll wake him up.
Oh, it was when it got under his nose, smelled it. That's when he started.
That's started moving. Right. Okay.
Did you? I mean, do you keep pouring then?
Well, no. I've already poured some, and it had that reaction. Maybe he'll just have to wake up on his own. Yeah, I'll leave him to his own bad dream devices.
I'm going to keep recording just to see if his expression changes.
His expression doesn't change much. He seems pretty solidly passed out.
Whilst he's passed out, can I grab his treason detector and just point it at his head, just to check it's not treasonous dreams he's having?
Make sure you get the instructions too. Actually, yeah.
A quick glance over the instructions, and then I'll try and work out if he's having any treasonous dreams.
Okay, so you find
while he's doing this, I'm recording him using detector.
Okay, you kind of go through Max's pockets to find the instructions, and you pull out what you thought were the instructions to find quite a lot of sheets of. It's just flyers for telling people to love the computer and how the computer can save them. You can't find any hint of a manual anywhere. Just more papers saying that the computer will save you.
Huh. I'll kind of gesture at team leader and have himself go, so that was in his pockets, but no instructions.
Are these the standards things for Federating Fan Computer, or are these unusual? Can I check? Yes, I have to check.
Do you have some skill that might let you check that sort of thing?
Some of the skills have weird names. I don't know what the meaning is. What's Moxie?
I don't think that's what Moxie is. Hang on, I'm just.
Moxie's like street smart.
Oh yeah, street smart.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be interrogation. He's not interrogated. Knowledge skills.
None of them seem to be very fitting. Maybe data analysis?
I guess Moxie, to see if I recognise it from my knowledge of just like general life. Maybe?
Yeah, give it a roll.
I don't know if that's good or not. I don't know how these rolls work. It's probably pretty good.
And it's like, that's the idea. Assume it's bad. Assume it's a bad roll.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing two things at once. Ooh. You don't recognise it.
I've never seen anything like this before. Could be traitorous. Make sure you record all of that with his corny equipment and your own equipment.
Yep, no worries, and I'll record a copy of the flyer and everything else. Can I?
Let's take them all off him as well, just for now.
Sure thing, team leader. This would be your responsibility to look after the potentially treasonous material. And I'll
pass them to the happiness officer. Can you hold on to these, please?
Are you sure you shouldn't hold this? This seems like something that's very important, and I wouldn't want to take something that's not of great importance.
Oh, but I trust you, happiness officer. You've been very good at your job so far.
I believe what would be the best idea, just in case we lose any, is if we all take some, so we all have some.
What if we lose some? If we split them up, it's more likely for some of them to get lost. I mean, we want to make sure we have the full level of evidence required.
But if one person loses them, if only one person has them, we've lost them all. But if one person loses them, we all have them.
There's more chance of losing some of them, and I want to make sure we have all the evidence.
But
if we've got pictures, we've definitely got like, here's how many there were to start with, and then you've got all the remaining evidence.
Okay.
So I've added a handout, which I've tried to sort of make visible to everyone.
Oh,
called Max's. Yeah. But I've misspelled it, but it's called Max's pamphlets. Which I mean, this is what it contains. I think out of character we've all seen this before, but in character, this is all our first time.
Okay. So out of character, would my character recognize CCCP as being a communist related series of letters?
Why does it say that?
It doesn't. It's First Church of Christ Computer Programmer. It's FCCCP.
I can't see it all.
It's just beneath Act now.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe so, unless you may have some sort of knowledge skill of
historical knowledge or something.
Societies or something.
No.
Otherwise, then I guess you don't know.
Can I have a look at it too? I don't know if I have any stuff, but
just based.
By the way, is Sarif still attempting to use the treason detector, or are you stumped by the lack of instructions?
I think I'm currently reading the flyer, but I was still going to try if the train's still moving.
Okay, and what's John doing in among all?
I reckon he's probably continuing to time the nose.
Good.
Fair enough. Vital stuff.
While also, he's probably glanced at the pamphlet, but I don't suspect he's been particularly scrutinous of it. He's more interested in the mood of everyone in the current strange turn that this has taken.
Well, I'm stumped.
We should still just hold on to it, and we can report this to Friend Computer.
I'll take hold of them, and I'll. Obviously, we've got the recording showing that they're from Max, so it's fine.
Yeah, multiple sources of it, and then I'll kind of turn over and just scan Max's head.
Make sure he's not got any, because then he'll realise that he's not got them, and maybe we'll see how that affects.
Yeah. Cool. Right. I'll try my best to scan his head.
Why is he conscious? Do you want to keep searching his pockets, hygiene officer?
So was that hygiene officer?
Yes.
Certainly. Then in that case, I will hand over the treason detector to team leader, and then I'll very carefully try not to get too dirty myself with mutant germs on me, and go through the rest of his pockets just to check what he has on him.
While that's going on, I'll try and see if I know how the treason detector works.
So sorry, who's using the treason detector? Is it
Seaman?
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to see what you could roll to try and get it working, since you've not been, briefed.
Yeah.
There's like equipment skills.
Yeah, I was going to say have a go at bot ops and maintenance. Obviously this isn't, a bot, so I'll give you a fair per chance of a bit.
Would it not come under electrical engineering?
I think that's more like making rather than you. But,
I bow to the engineers.
well, you have a go and you twiddle some dials and the screen lights up and you wave it about. Nothing lights up, which may be because there's no treason, and it may be because you haven't quite done the settings right.
I'll give it a shake as well.
Go either way.
Give it a shake. Slap it a bit. And then I'll hand it over to the happiness officer. Or, well, I'll hold it out to him if he wants it.
The happiness officer will take it and kind of just admire it very briefly before pointing it towards the pamphlet.
Again, it doesn't light up.
Cool.
And the
Anyway,
subway.
anything in his pockets is?
The
Yep.
subway stops at this point.
Oh.
Max is still unconscious. It is your stop.
Right, let's drag him off the train with us.
Yep. I'll grab the feet. Someone wants to grab the head.
Yeah, I'll grab his head.
Cool. And we'll start moving him off the train.
Okay.
No, we'll stop on the platform. I assume this is our stop, yeah? We've not just got
Yeah,
off it.
you can stop.
I hope so.
The platform is essentially identical to the one you got on at. As you'd expect in such an efficiently run place as Alpha Complex, once you've correct design for a platform, use it for all of them.
Okay, well, he doesn't seem like he's going to wake up, so let's take all of his flying equipment to make sure it doesn't get lost. And then, I guess just leave him here. She doesn't slow us down. Got a mission to do. I'm sure.
Well, perhaps we could inform someone nearby just to keep an eye on him, and that when we come back, we can hear
Okay.
from him.
Yeah. Do you want to go do that while we make sure we've got all of the stuff in our packs?
Okay. So I'm gonna just wander over to there was the red clearance guy who stopped us before. The equivalent at this end. I will just inform him to keep an eye on our erstwhile sanctioned mutant, as he seems to be fallen unwell, but we cannot wait for him. So we might come back and ask him how things went and what happened.
Okay. So what's he got in his pockets? Is pen and computer?
Well, let me just check. Or Ben, do you want to tell everyone?
Yeah, like just the standard laser pistols.
Yep.
You guys have already got the pamphlets.
Yep.
Outside of that, there was a treason detector which you've already stolen.
Stolen.
And there's obviously my me card and stuff.
Okay, so obviously, me card's yours, the laser pistol body's yours, the red body's yours, the PDC's all yours. So it's just the barrels, I think, assigned to you then. So we'll take the 3 laser barrels, everything else is his, as in he owns it. So if he loses it, it's his own responsibility. So we'll take the
Seems
3
fair.
red laser barrels off him.
There's 12.
There was 3 each. So we've all got 3. We all should have 3 in our inventory. You should have had 3.
Oh, I thought there was 12. Sorry.
If you've got 12, then that's very illegal.
12 for the team, yeah.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Cool. So I'll take your 3 and I'll put them in my inventory. And then we'll just. John, have you found anybody?
John heads upstairs and finds someone at the desk through the ticket gate, as you'd expect. Again, there's a fairly big queue that he's, but as you approach, he sees that you're not coming to skip the queue. You're coming from, so he can see that this isn't just you barging away at the front. So he sort of turns and says, "Oh, sorry, you need something?"
Yes, I was wondering if you could be of great help. You see, we're on a very important troubleshooting mission, and part of our troubleshooting team seems to have fallen unconscious. He's currently downstairs, and its time is of the essence. And we, of course, cannot afford to slow down by essentially carrying him around. So, as you understand, it's a very important task, as I just explained, and as you grasped quite elegantly, I could see on your face. So, if I could ask you to keep an eye on him, he may come to. We hope he comes to. We could do with his help. I do warn you, you'll see the sash. He is a mutant. Please don't allow your disgust to avert your eyes, because we do need you to watch him. And just, if he comes to, he knows where to meet us. But just to kind of, we might come back this way on our way back, and just to kind of let us know what went on. We are concerned of his safety and a very personal level, that he woke up in a good mood. So if you could do that, that would be excellent.
Right. I'll let someone know, and they'll go. Where should I say you've gone? Where should he meet you?
Tell him that he should meet us where the mission directed, and if that seems to not jog his memory, then I believe he wasn't paying attention well enough.
Right, very well. I understand. You leave it with me, no problem.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Okay, as best I can tell, he should only be asleep for another 15 or so minutes. So he shouldn't be far behind us.
How do we know
My medical assessment earlier. He seems to just overexerted himself, running around like his mutants are wont to be.
I'm sure he'll catch up.
He can
I would
run
like
fast.
when I come back, I'd like to guarantee I took the nose, because it is in
I
fact.
was about to say, we need to reclaim the notes. I was going to ask you whose turn is it now, Ice? Whose turn is the nose?
Oh, is it the hygiene officers?
Oh, thank you. And I'll wipe it down and then put it on my face.
Yeah, he started.
Uh-huh.
Don't you worry, team leader. He started with it. We've done a full cycle.
Good. What will we do when it gets back to?
I believe we just
Uh,
reschedule might be the best idea.
It's already
I
been perfectly timed
Like,
by the
looks
time
like
he's
he's missing his happiness.
well, if he's already reawoke, I'll tell you what. I will leave a pill for him. But I've timed it that by the time he's reawoke, if our hygiene officer is correct, if he is being as prompt as he constantly claims to be, should have re-entered our company by the time it's his turn.
Good. Right, let's continue on to the place to pick up the thing.
Okay, let us continue.
Okay, so we've arrived in Sector 8B on the subway. We're now leaving the subway station. I think this is possibly a good bookend to kind of close Chapter 1.
Cool.
If I can just sort of, for my own notes, for my own awareness, sort of recap what's happened there. So we've decided to leave Max behind and he'll catch up. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Seaman has got the red barrels. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've got his 3, my 3.
Yes.
The
Am
other
I
two.
thinking that John was the last person to have the treason detector?
That is correct.
Did anything else get? Oh, the pamphlets.
The pamphlets went to Seaman.
Team leader took them, yes.
And was everything else sort of left with Max, or
Yeah.
A happy pill was left with him.
a happy pill as well? And when you guys brought him from the subway, who was like carrying him and who was carrying his stuff?
The hygiene officer and team leader were carrying him, and at the time, most of the stuff hadn't been taken off of him yet.
Okay.
Just the pamphlets, which I believe were in the team leader's pocket at the time.
Yeah.
And I had the device, but it was not brandished.
Okay, so the team leader and you have my items, basically.
Pretty much.
At the moment, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Oh lord.
Hello. Can everyone hear me? Yeah.
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 I'll sort of make a note of everything so I don't.
Yeah, it's in. I'll put everything in my inventory as well.
Yeah, well, we can pick up from here next time.
Cool.
Okay, sounds perfect.
We didn't make much progress.
We made it on a subway. Like that's good progress for any computer.
Being on subways, that is progress.
Yeah, we made it to our destination without anyone being stabbed, which was
Like it
nice.
literally happened. The subway trip happened in real time.
Pretty much. But there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
No. Okay, well, that was pretty good for a first session of Paranoia, and that's with Team Subtlety. Well, hopefully we'll have lots more adventures in the future.
I absolutely do not trust anything that just happened.
Yeah.
No,
I can't
I
believe
don't
you
trust
guys
any of you.
taking all my stuff.
We couldn't leave it behind.
It would be derelict of duty.
We'll give it back to you if you ever catch up.
Yeah, you're a fast runner. You'll catch up.